into it.
Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments on the Basement Confessions episode. What is it, 69? 6?
9.
9?
6 or 9.
All right, folks. So today, what are we discussing, ladies and gentlemen?
Inflation.
And Edwin, what are we discussing?
Inflation, markets. Is that going to affect like all these like trading card games?
Professor Edwin.
Yeah.
Okay, so inflation.
Is it going to cause FOMO?
Balls. Engineer.
Blow-up dolls are going to 100.
Dork. I don't
Balls. Somehow it always goes back to balls.
All right, so
balls.
So just so we know, God, who runs?
You chose to have conversations with
He's
us.
thinking about balls now.
So where are we at? The what's Bitcoin at?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you know, actually,
$5?
That'd be a you thing. Of the four of us, you
do
probably
60?
are the most interested
55.
in Bitcoin.
Why? Hold on,
I'll look at it.
because people send me. I sell cards and people pay in Bitcoin, Ethereum.
That actually is interesting.
Where are we at? Where are we at right now? 60 what?
65.
Oh, 65.
Wow.
I thought it was like
Massive.
55.
My God.
Yep.
What was the high? 70?
70, yeah, and some
That was a
change.
long
Wow.
time ago, right?
Not that
No,
long
like
ago.
72 in 2022.
So we're what, 12% from the all-time high?
Yeah, so yeah, that's where it's at right now.
That's great.
So we're
can't
kind of
say that.
bouncing off the
true.
top effectively, right? Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's healthy to bounce on the top.
So,
amen.
And the stock market's all-time high.
Yep.
yep, back
Magic,
up to all-time
modern
highs.
magic is what? Bull market going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's all-time high going into an actual election, which is interesting. Because like markets can definitely get volatile before you're headed into an election because there's so much fear.
Really? Are we going to election stuff?
Oh, God.
No, I'm not saying
I thought that was
that.
the one thing we weren't talking
No.
about.
I'm not saying talk about election. I'm just saying stock markets going into an election can get volatile.
It's not even, you're not even having Thanksgiving. You can't talk politics.
You know that's what everyone does in America on Thanksgiving before an election. Everyone just yells at each other, "Who are you voting for?"
I feel like hating my family.
I'm angry.
I feel like being mad.
What do you mean before the election? The Thanksgiving is at the end of November, and we'll already have a president.
November 4th or
yeah,
something.
right.
Is that vote day?
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna vote for D's nuts again?
D's nuts for the win.
I'd vote for Elon if he ran.
He's not gonna run.
He's
I'm
not
saying-
dumb enough.
Oh,
In the
but you
near
know what he
future.
might do is he might actually be in Trump's administration though. They're already talking about that.
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah,
not even
yeah.
kidding. They talked about him being like a finance verifying government groups are actually doing what they're supposed to kind of group.
Okay, so anyways, new Magic's going crazy.
Yep. There you go.
New Pokemon, which you all said is just garbage. Nobody likes Pokemon. Weiss and Pokemon are stupid and going to zero.
I said Weiss is stupid.
Right.
I don't think I said Pokemon.
Why is Weiss stupid, man? Weiss is pretty cool.
Maybe it's just that I don't know anything
Japanese
about
anime
it.
and melons.
He never actually
Japanese
watched
anime?
any
Yeah,
of
I'm not going to invest in what I don't know.
together.
So I'll just say I don't know.
So women?
Weiss.
Weiss
Oh, you said you don't.
within an animation. So
Yeah, you literally said you don't know women.
Well, you know,
That's
this
the
is,
whole appeal of
This
Weiss.
is different. I
Well,
know
it
at
doesn't
least
have to be a
one.
woman.
No, that's in a cereal
that
box.
has
I know at
nothing,
least one.
that has nothing to do with Weiss
I don't
cards.
need women. I need one. And she's great.
Oh, you need one piece?
Yeah.
That's what the guy says when he knows his wife's going to watch the video.
And it's true.
All right, so Gene, you guys care about Pokemon?
Oh, I do. I love Pokemon.
That
Right,
was
Ben?
the most, that was
We
the,
love it.
That was the creepiest looking face.
I know, that was like a sexy looking face.
Dude, that was like an
wasn't it?
inappropriate.
Let me
like,
see sexy face again. Do it again.
We love
Don't know.
Pokemon.
Let's not do that again.
He looks like the buddy Jesus when he does that.
I have no idea what the hell that
Okay,
is.
come on. People don't know that's
what-
from Dogma.
I like
Kevin-
Pokemon. I
Kevin Smith.
buy whatever my daughter wants to buy, and we open it together.
Were you in the group of people that said the new Pokemon Scarlet Violet era was all going to be trash?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
I have heard of it, yes. But Pokemon's just always going to go up because of the demand.
See, I thought Scarlet Violet from day one was going to be a huge thing, and I thought that people would be not realizing it until it was too late. And now it is.
I actually bought some. Craziness.
Edwin, you don't buy any Pokemon, do you? Because it's
No.
all stupid and goes to zero and you don't understand it, right?
No, it's not that I don't have any lack of faith or anything in Pokemon. It's just that I don't personally get into it, so I don't know it, so I don't invest in
So
it.
if
But
you just
I don't have any positive or negative thing to say about it, honestly.
Yeah, but isn't it good to focus on investments that you don't have an emotional attachment to?
It is not a good idea to invest in things you don't understand.
You're saying two different things, though.
okay.
I have a positive attachment to Pokemon, but I don't see it as an investment because I don't understand it. So I understand both perspectives. What you're saying.
You
two
don't see
different
Pokemon
things.
as an investment?
No, I personally don't have
Do
any skin in the game, and I've got no passion for Pokemon. I have an attachment to it through my child, and you know, it's a great product. It's just fascinating how.
Do you think
always
it's
just goes
investable?
up. It is investable.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Anyway,
I just don't see it.
Do you
as an
think
investment.
Pokemon is investable?
Well, clearly that's a yes because people have made a bunch of money on it. But
Singles or boxes or both?
sealed seems to be a really good way to go. So that's definitely a thing.
I don't know, for people who aren't in the Pokemon world, Pokemon, when they release these sets, there's always a couple chase cards. And they don't really reprint those exact cards over and over like Magic does. Okay? So if it's an Evolving Skies, Chilling Reign, even a crappy Battle Styles or whatever it is from the past, they don't really reprint the same card. So every once in a while they'll do a throwback set, an Evolutions or 151 or some
The celebrations.
Celebrations or 25th or 30th. They'll always make reprint style sets, but they don't really reprint the same artwork. It's almost like they have like a pseudo reserve list artwork thing in Pokemon. Do you know what I'm saying?
A little bit. There is one thing I do know about Pokemon. It's that like most people that actually like are into Pokemon, they don't generally play it. They just like to collect it. And so people open a ton of Pokemon product trying to get those chase cards. I think the ones that you're referring to. What's interesting about that is since people open up so many cards, an average Pokemon like tournament level deck is actually much cheaper than like Flesh and Blood, Magic the Gathering, like other ones. Because there's so much product open chasing those chase cards that the playables start to come down in price just due to supply and demand. So
what about the graded cards? How come everybody opens the brand new Pokemon set every 60, 90 days and they love to grade every new Pokemon card? In Magic, nobody grades new Magic.
Because with the graded Pokemon cards, they're actually usually in the hollows and that kind of stuff. They're actually grading the premium examples, and those are actually going to maintain their value and increase.
Well, as somebody that opens product literally every week with my child, I look at the print quality, and a PSA 10 in Pokemon is not that easy to achieve in the first place.
Right.
And I say PSA because that's a real deal. If I said any other company outside of PSA for grading Pokemon, I'd be delusional because that's the way it goes. And print quality is really good print quality.
For the record, Flesh and Blood is the #1 graded card at PCG. #2 is actually Pokemon. And I think #3 is like Magic range, and then #4 is like tie between like Lorcana, One Piece, Weiss. There's all kinds of blend.
Do you see it trending?
Pokemon and Flesh and Blood are the two most graded. Now again, recently, Sorcery has been a huge grading thing. But yes, PSA has an insane amount of Pokemon grading. Insane. It's
not even close.
No, you can't BS it. The amount like Beckett does, like nobody wants Beckett graded Pokemon. I don't know. It's just a Magic thing, I guess. But when it comes to Pokemon, it is, dude, they must grade hundreds of thousands. They must grade at least 100,000 Pokemon a month.
Yep.
It must be some outrageous number.
It's interesting how things move like that in kind of like a herd mentality, because like sometimes things will go that way for like very good reasons, and other times it's just like, well, that's what everyone else does. This kind of sounds to me like that's what everyone else does.
Well, back in the day, all vintage Magic was graded with PSA.
Yeah.
Before the whole Beckett thing, and everybody got obsessed with that and went to Beckett. For 5-10, from 05 to probably 2012 to 2014, it was only PSA for grading cards.
But then why did Magic people go to Beckett and no one else did?
Ooh, that's...
Go ahead.
Well, truth be told, there was
That's
a whole group of content creators, some prominent names, I won't single them out, but they all shifted their attention and allegiances to Beckett because they wanted to make a name for themselves. And that's also what happened recently with the company CGC. If not for all this bad publicity and, bad quality control on their product.
I love CGC for comic books. Just want to lay it out there.
Yeah, CGC is probably the #1 comic
Their
book company.
pressing is actually really good for
Yep.
comics. They actually
Dude, I love their
No
comic
dispute
books.
there.
Just for the record.
That's what they know. But
Yeah.
for graded trading card games, it's fallen pretty flat. There's a lot of product out there. There's no sales.
What I really don't understand with some of these grading companies, and they all have their little issues, is like, why would a grading company ever not like stand behind their product? Like if they grade something and they find an issue, it seems crazy to me that they don't say like, oh, send your mistake in and we'll fix it.
Well,
like, I don't know why any of them don't do that.
Well, some of them do, but for example, CGC, there was a content creator that literally cut Pokemon cards with scissors and then got it graded. And then instead of fixing the problem, they sent him a legal cease and desist letter. So
they had to send him a cease and desist letter to stop cutting cards?
To stop cutting cards and making content about how bad things are, because that's how, you know, private equity
I didn't know that.
problems.
I didn't. Is this really? Is this recent?
For real. Yep.
Huh, I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Shiny Vert or whatever the content.
Talk about
creator.
cutting corners.
Yeah. Aha!
But still, I mean, I know they used to actually. There are people that cut revised sheets as well and start sending them in, but they're actually literally just cutting individual cards.
Non-factory cut, yes.
That is just.
No, they were literally cutting. I'll share the link with you guys. It's out there, and then he posted another video saying he was getting sued by CGC.
He should be.
There was one other thing I heard about recently. Like I think it was for Beckett, that there are people that sent in cards that end up being counterfeit cards, that they weren't going to like stand behind it and like do something to like verify that.
And yes, PCG, if we slab a counterfeit card and it goes to the market, we would have to buy the card back or get it off the market. That is, PSA does the same thing. It's not a secret special thing. PSA's done it for a long time. I know even Matt Rodgers has done that before when there was a card, I don't remember, it was a long time ago. I think it was Channel Fireball days. It was a long time ago. He bought a card back. Now, this whole new thing about some of these grading companies grading the signature on a fake card thing is just weird to me. I'm sorry. That the whole thing is just weird. I don't understand.
That was PSA, wasn't it?
It was PSA.
That was PSA.
Yeah.
Technically,
Underground C. Right?
Correct. But remember, they authenticated the autograph, not the card. So technically, PSA is not legally required to buy the card back or reimburse if somebody overbid on an auction because they did a loophole by grading the signature on a fake card, which just laying out there. It's crazy.
Gray area, guys. Gray area.
I feel like talking about like, you know, technically and legally what's allowed and stuff, I feel like that just misses the point. Because if you want to send your stuff into a grading company, you're wanting to get your stuff like verified as real. You want to get a third party to say like how good or bad it is. You're wanting to trust someone else to basically tell you what it is. And when these companies don't stand behind their work, I feel like they're just missing the goal, like entirely, right?
Well,
so do you think that the G.I. Joe incident, that the grading company, because that was actually someone actually
that was
certified that,
baseball
right?
card exchange, right?
Yeah, and
was
someone actually certified
exchange?
it. They should need to go and pay someone $3 million for that case of Pokemon.
I don't know.
So whether or not they have to pay for the loss on the card, like I feel like that's a different.
This is a case.
Point. The point is, like, I don't think they should be liable for the value of the things that they're grading in that kind of sense. But like, at the very least, saying like, we think that it's true, and we will refund your money, or we will offer to grade it again. Those kinds of things. But like, I mean, if I send them a $10 million item and something goes wrong with like, you know, the item itself ends up being fake, I'm not expecting them to pay $10 million. That's not what I'm asking. I don't think that's reasonable. I'm saying they should at least be able to say something about like, hey, we will regrade it for you. We're not going to charge you for it. We'll do free shipping back to us. You know, something along those lines to kind of.
So a fake card, you're specifying that they should actually not buy it back. They should just say, we're going to regrade it for you.
Well, they were never the owner or the buyer of the card.
It gets weird because whenever these things blow up, everybody tries to reverse the transaction.
Right.
The guy who bought it wants his money back, goes back to the seller. And the seller is stuck, and he wants it. It keeps trying to undo as far back as you can go. Right? Isn't that how these things work?
Yeah, that is correct.
So now, okay. So eventually, you hit a point though where someone's like, "I had it so long, I don't know where the person is," or "I got it on eBay 20 years ago." Eventually, you hit a point where you can't go back any further, and somebody gets stuck holding the bag. Right?
Correct. Right.
And that's how this works, right?
It shouldn't be the grader though.
But
well, I mean, they don't own the cost of the item.
Yeah,
they own whether or not it's real or it's not. That's what they own.
If you slab a single card and the card isn't real, then what's the point of slabbing? Or what's the point of the company?
What you're paying for is someone else saying that we believe this thing is authentic and it's at this grade. They don't own the card. They're not the buyer. They're not the seller. But they do own the process of saying that it's authentic.
Like, I think it's a different thing if somebody has a card and, well, I grade a 6, and they're like, well, this should be a 6.5, versus the whole card is just a fake card worth 0. Like, I feel like
they graded it authentic and it's like a 10.
Yeah, like I feel like there's some very
if you want them to get involved, if you want a grading company to get involved in the process of the actual value of the card that they're grading, that's getting into like an insurance kind of space where the cost of grading would have to go up, and the more expensive the item is, the more they're gonna have to charge for it.
Does.
I don't honestly think that's the right direction to go. That's
what PSA does already, because once
Correct.
cards go past like $1,000 or $1,500, $10,000 and $100,000, you need to pay certain insurance premiums for them to guarantee the card.
So that's fine to do that. But I'm trying to separate it out. Like, that's a different business model. What I'm talking about them is not even being willing to stand behind if they graded like a fake card and didn't realize it. At the very least, be willing to say we will refund the money for the grading.
You're talking about ethics, and in terms of that, I completely agree with you. First, they should have employees that actually know what they're doing, know what cards they're actually looking at, 100%. And be specialized. And if there's a problem, instead of suing a content creator or suing people to cover up their problems, they should be like, oh, we screwed up, we shouldn't do that, we've made the right safeguards. But some companies, in this case CGC, other grading companies are not innocent either. They aren't taking the right steps, and they're not practicing ethical standards.
So be more professional in that.
Be more ethical to your customers, actually know what you're doing and know how to identify a fake card.
That's the whole thing, right? So they're supposed to identify the card. They're supposed to identify that it's real. They're supposed to be the ones that are the experts, and they're saying and slapping that it is a real, genuine card.
Right, that's their value.
False.
Yep.
That's their whole value. That's the reason they're there, is to add authenticity and like verifiability to it. That's their purpose.
To be a third-party specialist and actually know the difference between real and fake.
Yep.
And then after those layers of checks, tell you what the actual grade is.
Yeah, so they should do it and then stand behind what they've done. Because, honestly, that's their job.
There should be some financial loss to the company, though, if there actually is grading of fake cards, because then you're actually putting out there something that says, I can't identify this card anymore. It's in a slap case, but it doesn't matter anymore. Well, they need to have that financial risk.
Some of what you're paying them for
they're putting skin in the game. They're putting their name.
If I'm paying them to just give their best opinion and grade something, and the cost is reflecting that, then no, they shouldn't pay for it. If I'm paying them more, like I send them a $10,000 card and they charge me $300 to do the grading on it because they're standing behind it, okay, well now they should. It's all about like what that deal is, right? Like what they're actually charging for in that service, and be clear about it.
All right, you guys beat the crap out of this topic. That's fine. But the original point I asked was, why does every new Pokemon set come out, everybody wants to grade it, and then Magic releases new sets, and nobody cares if a new Magic card is graded? Is it
just in case we don't care about Magic?
Why is that a thing? Why is that?
I think it comes down to demographic, because most people that I see open Pokemon cards or buy Pokemon cards when I go to the LGS or when I go to the Dave & Buster's or wherever, or Target, which is Pokemon, are children. And I believe that children want nice looking Pokemon cards, and they'll grade it.
Kids don't care about the grading, right?
No,
that is incorrect.
That is incorrect.
I have one, and I can't say his name because I didn't ask her permission. But I actually sent in a card to PCG to get it graded. Just one card for that person.
Yeah, my daughter, she likes
that's
big numbers.
They like
tens.
Yeah, they like
cards.
The PSA.
They like the protected
PCG.
card. So that's absolutely not the case. Kids like graded cards.
It's like nobody likes new. Like, how many new Magic cards from the most recent, Bloomborough or Duskmoor just came out? Who's grading that?
But here's the problem. You're talking about two different demographics. Magic players, contemporary Magic players, don't really have that level of disposable income, or they're known as to be more frugal because they're trying to save money. Game pieces, they want affordable cards. Whereas the demographic of graded Pokemon cards are the parents of the Pokemon collectors. So there's more disposable income there and more willingness to spend in general.
So you think it's the customers?
It's the customers. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I think the Signature Series cards, when people get them, they usually send them in, I would assume. Like, they're not Signature Series, but they put that in number.
Serialized cards.
Serialized, yeah.
That's different. That's
words.
speculation and resale value. scalping. Oh no, the scalpers.
Well, don't ask me because I don't have any faith in anything newly printed.
Wow. All right.
Only old
Then,
stuff.
Oh,
wow.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no faith in it. Only reserve list. That's it. He throws
And-
everything else in the trash.
Here we go.
no,
Old
no.
school magic. Here it is.
A reserve list and original print cards, like the very first versions that were made in very low print runs, and like they are the original one. Those are the ones that I'm into, and like I have no faith in anything else.
And you know all those cards have done terrible the last 2-3 years.
Actually, I don't see it like that because, like, I know you've had a lot of videos on this, but what I actually see, because I know you're not in these spaces, is there has been
I-
sales.
You are in the basement,
There have
sir.
been like selling, but like there's not a huge buildup of supply. There's been people buying as there's been people selling, and the prices drifted lower. But I actually see a ton of transactions going on all the time, and I personally think
Are you buying any vintage cards?
Yes, I've been buying a ton.
What was the last
actually.
vintage card you bought?
Yesterday.
What, Bearscape?
No, King Suleiman showed up in the mail, actually.
King Solomon.
Yeah.
That's a big purchase.
Okay, I'm sitting next to guys that are like 100x my net worth. Yes, I am buying. Yes, I'm putting a lot of money into cards. I absolutely put my money where my mouth is. And I'm talking about buying several
What
cars.
grade
worth
was
of
your
time.
King Solomon?
Oh, no, almost everything I buy is like light play kind of thing.
Ah, so
Because
raw
I
dice.
So how much
actually-
is a raw card for King Solomon?
It was like 100, somewhere about there for a King Suleiman. Like, I don't know if this is a thing. No, so I just even like did a deal like very recently for a full set of like unlimited dual lands, like full set of like 40 unlimited
that's
dual
something.
lands.
That's something.
Well, I know,
that's
but
good.
it's like you guys are asking me about King Suleiman. Yes, I put money
Unlimited
into
dual
dual
lands. Our little boy's all grown up. He's all grown up. He's doing unlimited dual lands.
Yes, but so yeah, I only have faith in the old cards. I know that we're in a low point, but like everyone knows Magic 30. Like if there's one spot that Magic 30 hit, it's that, right?
Yeah, it totally
Magic
crushed it.
30 hit that hard, and also a lot of people are getting killed with inflation right now. Like people in this room aren't suffering inflation as much, but a lot of people are. And so it's in a low point right now, but I don't think that's going to last
What are
forever.
you talking about? Taco Bell's like $15 a person. That's inflation.
that's
We're
hitting
impacted
pretty
by
bad.
inflation. We don't
Yeah.
like that either.
That's hitting
we
pretty
like
bad.
Taco
I'm a
Bell
little
at
worried about my bean
$4.69.
It's not going to hit your net worth very hard to buy Taco Bell.
That's
is incorrect, sir.
that's
I
a
don't
different
think you
topic.
understand.
That's
My
a
credit card
completely
statement would
different
argue otherwise.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know how many of those Taco Bell app? What's it?
The points.
The point? No, what is it? The little box, the little $6-7 box. Oh my god, whatever. Move on.
The fun backs, the Taco Bell fun backs.
Not
Yeah,
the party pack. They have like
The-
little.
yeah, the little.
Oh, the build your
the
own
little
box.
snack boxes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They used to be like $5. Now
Yeah.
in Manhattan they're like 15.
So let me
Whoa.
ask you, Rudy.
Christ, how do you eat?
So Rudy, do
I
you
don't know.
think
We
that
just find a
new
way.
Magic singles are investable?
No.
There you go.
Wait,
That's
what?
it. I'm done. I'm out.
Wait, that was his point. New
Well, hold on.
Magic
That
singles.
was my point. Yeah, that was my point.
No. Well, hold on. Well, there's a caveat.
I didn't say sealed. I said new Magic,
Magic
singles.
It is unknown if serialized cards will stand the test of time and what they will be valued because nobody knows the real value. And look what happened, Lord of the Rings Holiday.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that for serialized cards. I actually agree. Serialized cards have shown themselves to be something different. I'll give you that.
Investable. Investable is defined as long-term can accrue value.
Right.
Obviously, any new single in Magic, there's no way. Because if any of those pop up, it's going to be whack-a-mole with Wizards. They're literally going to whack that thing with a
Yes.
big suction cup.
Thank you.
Or they'll
That's
just
exactly
ban
the
it.
point. I was
Or they
making.
just ban it. One way or the other, they're going to destroy it.
Yeah.
But
It's
look-
valuable. Ban it.
But when you look at Lord of the Rings, even the summer or the holiday one,
Well, we all
the
knew
serialized cards are through the roof.
Lord of the
Oh, yeah.
Rings was going to sell Lord of the Rings. That was already in the cards.
Okay,
It's just like
so-
Marvel's going to sell Marvel.
Okay, what about
But
Doctor Who, Assassin's
Doctor
Creed, and
Who, there
Fallout?
wasn't enough people because Assassin's Creed's also not enough fan
Yeah, but
base.
they've
But
all
across
done
all of
well
those, the
still.
serialized cards have done extremely well. I think
They
all of
have,
us
they
sitting
have.
here can say they have differentiated themselves from all the other newly printed Magic cards. I think
No,
that's
they
pretty
have. They
obvious.
have.
Wait, but to be fair, you were asking singles. I wouldn't consider serialized cards to be really Magic singles. They're
Yeah,
sort
they're
of
more-
a niche. They're a very limited run of you know, X out of X hundred of cards,
Right.
And they're
Well, that's
truly
exactly-
collectible pieces, right?
Well, that's exactly what
It's
makes them
manufactured
awesome.
scarcity, right?
Well, that's exactly what makes those, compared to all the newer cards, something that you might consider investing in.
But that's not singles, right? So we're finding if there's actual single cards that are not unique. Those serialized cards are unique, right? Singles, it's just like
Okay,
I don't know,
pause that.
Okay.
Let me pivot a little bit. New product, sealed, new collector boxes, investable or not?
a lot more investable than the singles, I would say.
Okay.
Like, so if I had to
That
invest,
wasn't a yes or no. Can you buy new sealed collector boxes, and do they fit the definition of investable long term? That's all. Yes or no?
kind of.
On the fence?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
on the fence.
fence.
I'm on the
Saints?
fence.
After an Amazon dump, why not?
Yes for Marvel. I'm all in.
Oh boy. What about Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy is going to be okay.
Okay, it's Final Fantasy,
It'll-
bro.
That's gonna do really
bro.
well. Final Fantasy is
No,
gonna
no,
crush
no.
it.
It'll
Do you
hold
not
its own.
realize how big a deal Final
You think
Fantasy
Marvel-
is?
It's gonna crush it.
Marvel is
It's gonna
going to
crush it.
crush Final Fantasy any day of the week.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Look,
I don't know. We might have to have a bet.
No,
we might have
it's
to have a
gonna
bet going
crush
on.
it. Oh, I'd bet on Marvel any day of the week first.
I think.
Final
Well,
Fantasy.
so
Final Fantasy.
I want to hear the details of the bet. Come on, let's formulate this
Okay,
bet.
so hold on. So you
I
think
do.
Final
I
I
Fantasy?
would say Final Fantasy has a more rabid fan base and has a higher chance to appreciate
The people who
Yes.
love Final Fantasy are, dude, these are people that are like, when I was younger with Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10 range, like my life was around Final Fantasy. I'm sorry, that stuff is, anyone I know between players guides and figures and
Okay.
people are obsessed with that.
I will give you that. However, there are very few of you. Where there is tons of people who love Marvel way beyond Final Fantasy. You got kids, you got movies, you got everything. You got tons more people, adults, children.
I think we already have a case. I think we already have an example in Magic the Gathering, War of the Spark Japanese edition, Yoshitaka Amano art of Liliana, Dreadhorde General. That card, made by Amano, is like $6,000 raw or something like that.
So then, what's the bet? Did you guys make a bet?
We haven't made a bet yet.
I want to hear a bet.
Taco Bell,
Definitely talk about.
Taco Bell? Okay.
Chick-fil-A, everything on the menu.
Sure.
Oh,
Everything
okay.
on the menu.
Chick-fil-A,
Loser buys. Loser buys.
loser has to buy 2 of everything on the menu.
Deal.
It's fine. Deal.
What? Hold on.
Marvel has to win. I mean, Marvel.
Final
will win.
Fantasy
Wait,
is going to win.
Did he get the handshake? I don't know if he got.
I got the
You
handshake.
You got the
It's
handshake.
done. It's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
It's
that's
done.
it.
2 of everything
Final
on the
Fantasy
menu. The whole
or
menu.
Marvel, 12 months after release, which set escalates
Yeah, so
more?
hold on. So what are the terms? We're basing it on the collector box price?
Sure. Collector
serial-
box price, percentage gain, 12 months after release.
12 months from exact release date.
Yes, from
Okay.
MSR. Is there even an MSR?
Doesn't matter.
we don't know.
Doesn't, whatever it is.
Oh, got
Whatever
that?
it is.
We'll
We'll
you
know.
got it?
We'll know.
Okay, good.
Edwin will crunch the numbers. He's an engineer. He
Yeah. And then it'll just
he has
turn
all
into
those
aliens.
numbers that scroll over the
Flat
screen
Earth,
whenever
all-
he talks.
So,
You know, I heard the Earth is flat.
what does that have to do
internet.
with Marvel or Final Fantasy?
Oh gosh,
you-
did you get this on Wikipedia from Cynthia Williams?
I haven't smoked in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Earth.
You know, Rudy, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I heard another guy I met by Wendy's said that the Earth could be hollow,
Well, I've actually heard that. That's actually from
and
a
the
book,
inside are
right?
like tiny little saints, like little aliens and stuff.
What?
You guys heard that before,
Well, did the
Tiny
acid,
little saints. There he is.
dude? I'm telling you.
Little versions of me? What?
I think the acid just kicked in.
right, well-
honestly.
Thanks for watching, folks.